But there has to be a little Mets therapy session because the Yankees just lost. Freddie Freeman hits a grand slam, bases loaded, 2 outs. Aaron Boone, you put in Nestor Cortez. The man hasn't pitched in like 8 months. You literally burned through your damn bullpen. You put him in? Freddie Freeman takes him deep. What kind of decision is that? At least, Mendoza was a rookie manager. This man's been a manager for how long? What kind of stupid moves you making? Every Yankee fan on the planet right now is upset. And I'm curious to hear what the postseason conversation is going to be. Why'd you make this decision? If the Yankees lose to the Dodgers, I'm going to be sick. I am.
Yo, Beth, that shit crazy.
On a Saturday! Welcome to the All Even Podcast. My name is Barry Grant Jr. You can catch me on Instagram at All Even Podcast, X at All Even Podcast, TikTok at All Even Media. What am I missing? That's it? I think that's all the big major platforms. You can listen to the show on Podbean as well as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio. I'm all over the place. Go to YouTube, hit that subscribe button, like, share, and comment. Tell a friend that the page is growing. Mr. 10K, I'm in the building. Claw is not here. We miss Claw. Hopefully Claw will come back and be here for consecutive weeks. But hey, listen, we never know where the hell Claw is. Jimmy the super intern, he's also on leave. Nah, we love Jimmy. He's out there doing his thing. But the silent assassin is here. How you doing?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, decent.
For the circumstances, right? We're not too happy as Met fans. We're not upset.
Mm-hmm.
We're not happy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like one of those things where you get to that point and it's just like, man, you got so close. But like I said, I've spoken to several Mets fans, and I think we're good. I think we're in a good spot.
Yeah, very exciting, especially now having some conversations with David Stearns and stuff. Getting very excited for next year and what's to come, especially with all the money coming off the books and who's available. Just getting excited for next year. Like I said, this year they had said, we're going to be contenders, but get ready for
2025.
And,
That's the real Project 2025, yeah. The Mets. Yeah. We've been telling you, Project 2025 is coming. It's all Mets. Yeah. You're going to spend a lot of money. $1 billion in the offseason. I'm calling it right now. I've heard rumblings that Cohen is going to spend a lot. There's a lot to get into today. Obviously, there's a lot of football news we got to get into. The NFL. Thursday Night Football was very, very interesting. These refs got to do a lot better, man. It was a blown call, and that could have been able to change the trajectory of the game. We're going to talk about that. We're going to have Jets Watch. What's going on with the Jets? Is Aaron Rodgers going to be able to get through the season? I'm going to have a real honest assessment of how I feel that the Jets can be able to either make the playoffs, not to make the playoffs, or, how Aaron Rodgers can recover the season, or is it just going to completely go by the wayside? Jerry Jones has lost his fucking mind, and I'm going to go ahead and dissect that as well. Who do I think right now the NFL MVP is? I'd like to have a conversation about Patrick Mahomes as well. Is Brock Purdy as bad as my eyes are telling me? And we're going to have a discussion about that as well and break down his numbers. Kawhi Leonard news. This is great. In regards to, he's going to be out for the opener for the Clippers. That happened already, but also there's going to be weeks that he's out for, and we're going to discuss that. Joel Embiid, he's also out, and that's an interesting conversation because there's a growing trend that I see in the NBA that I don't like, and I want to discuss that. Some Lakers conversations. I've seen all I need to see out of JJ Redick. I've seen enough. One game. I've seen enough. somebody's getting their own signature shoe, and I'm going to discuss that as well. World Series predictions. The game is on right now. I think the Dodgers are up 1-0. But I will give my predictions on the actual series and who I want to win. I might talk about the Mets. I might not. I don't know. My irrelevant news of the week. And then the greatest segment on the planet, Dummy of the Week.
Dummy, yeah.
Now, before I get into all that, obviously we are, 11, 12 days away from the election. So, not going to talk too much about this. I just want you to vote. However you're going to vote, I just want you to go ahead and exercise your right to vote. It's very important. There's record turnout in a lot of states. There's big time enthusiasm, whether on both sides. I love to see it. I love to see that Americans are standing up and they want to go ahead and exercise their vote. So it's really good. Early voting is very important as well. So get out there. Anybody that you know that is on the fence, you can go ahead and go get them to cast their ballots. And it's very, very important that you actually vote down ballot as well. Down ballot is just as important, if not more important, than the actual presidential election. A lot of people don't realize that. And I'm the one to give you the education, because civics is a big fucking problem in this country. And we need people to understand how government works and how it functions and responsibilities that certain people have or don't have, and who makes the laws and how many people actually fucking make laws in this country. So please exercise your right to vote. Do so and get your voting pin or sticker, and just be proud to be an American and be proud to cast your ballot, because it's very important. I'd like to discuss Thursday night football. Big time game, and the Rams and the Vikings. Rams win 30-20. Rams are a really good team. Matthew Stafford had an awesome game. 4 touchdowns. Offense was clicking. Cooper Kupp is back. Puka Nacua was back. They both showed out. I think Cooper Kupp had a touchdown or 2. The biggest call in the game, obviously, was the missed face mask call in the end zone that allowed the safety for the Rams and stopped the drive for the Minnesota Vikings. So the Rams right now are pretty much, they're the toast of the NFC West. The Vikings obviously are still a pretty good team, and they are in a packed NFC North. Takeaways from the game, I think both teams are in good spots. I think both teams are really, really good. I think Sam Darnold really played a great game. I think he was like 18 for 25, over 250 yards. The guy is showing that he's an NFL quarterback. The guy is showing that he can possibly be a franchise quarterback, and I'm hoping that the Vikings actually give him a chance after the season to be able to have another crack at it. Obviously there's going to be other quarterbacks and players that are out there that might be free agents or available via trade that they might look into, because I'm hearing there were some rumblings and rumors about Matthew Stafford actually being a guy. So literally the quarterback that they just played might be an option in regards to a trade. But I think Sam Darnold has proven himself to be a viable quarterback. And I really, really like the fact that this kid has persevered through all the trials and tribulations that he's been through in the NFL. Being a high draft pick for the Jets, flushing out with the Jets, going to Carolina, not really producing there, going to San Francisco, understanding how the concepts of a quarterback works. Now he has an opportunity in Minnesota, and he's taking full advantage of that. And that's what you want to see. You want to see guys being able to have a redemption tour and redeem themselves in regards to getting another chance with an organization that believes in them. So shouts to Sam Darnold. For the Rams, it's all about getting healthy for the Rams. We know that the Rams, a couple of years, obviously this is a Super Bowl winning team. This is a team that has experience, veterans, great quarterback, great coach, great play calling, great playmakers on the outside, great running backs, good defense. They're not as great as they used to be, but they still have a pretty solid defense. So if they can stay healthy, I don't see why the Rams wouldn't be the toast of the NFC West. I can see them being the best team. They always are in the race somehow because they have the pieces. Cooper Kupp has dealt with injuries over the last few years, but everybody knows what that guy can do. And the fact that he can be able to come back at a time where they need him, they're getting healthy at the right time, they're making the right decisions, and Matthew Stafford looks like he's fully healthy again to be able to be one of the top quarterbacks in the league. So that's my takeaway from this game. I think both teams are really, really good. I think they're well coached. I think they both have good quarterback play. But obviously the officiating needs to be better. Like, I'm hearing that they might start putting face masks in a review type of situation, so they can be able to review that and see if they missed a call, and they can be able to kind of overturn that or whatever, because there's a lot of face masking that goes on in the NFL. I don't know if reviewing that is going to be too much, where you're going to be stopping the game and doing this and all this stuff. There's, especially even on the line, there's a lot of holding. There's a lot that a referee will miss due to human error. You're not going to catch everything, but for something that's so egregious like that, you have to get that right. You have to get a call like that right. It's right there in front of your face. If you don't have the angle, then you need to position yourself somewhere else where you can be able to see exactly what's going on. So, that's kind of my takeaway from the game. Like I said, both teams are really, really good. And I wouldn't be surprised if this is a matchup that you see deep into the playoffs. It could happen depending on, whatever draw they get and whatever matchup they get. So I'm sure these teams will probably have another crack at each other, but it was a good game, man. I really loved it. Wow. Stanton had a 2-run blast. The Yankees are up. Stanton has been unbelievable. He's been unbelievable in these playoffs. So, shouts to the Yankees. They're getting timely hits from their big bats that are getting the big contracts. That's what you want to see. You want to see the guys. I wish we had that. Anyway, just gonna let the pain subside. Moving on. Jerry Jones. There's something wrong with Jerry Jones. I've been a avid defender of Jerry Jones over the years. I think he's put together a pretty decent roster. I think that there's certain decisions that he's made that I side with, but over the last 2 years or so, there's some questionable things. We heard recently that he didn't sign Derrick Henry because Derrick Henry was not going to fit Mike McCarthy's offense. And I'm like, Derrick Henry's the best running back in football. He fits any fucking offense. So you can't give me that excuse. Or the other excuse that, we couldn't afford him. Yeah, you could. So when you don't go out there and get a guy that was for the taking, I have questions now. When your offensive line is as bad as it is, when your linebackers are not as effective, your pass rush, all of these things your quarterback play has been mediocre. All of these decisions you made, the 2 guys that you signed to long-term contracts over the offseason have played mediocre football, CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott. How are you going to fix this if you don't go out there and make trades? Devontae Adams was available. You didn't want him. You said recently on one of the interviews that you go on, your weekly spots, there's not going to be any trades. So what are you telling your fan base? We have enough to win? No, we don't. As a Dallas Cowboy fan, I can tell you, I said at the start of this season, I had my NFL kickoff show. I said the Cowboys will go 7-10. Saw the schedule, saw the teams that they're playing, saw the fact that Dak Prescott's still our fucking quarterback. Yeah, 7-10. They're 3-3 at this point? Coming off the bye, they have a big game against the 49ers. We know what's going to happen. 49ers ain't playing good, but when they see us, they get happy. Oh, Cowboys, all right, we're good. We'll be able to right the ship. We'll fix that right up. We don't have when you look at all the other contending teams, right? Green Bay, Detroit, Kansas City, Pittsburgh, Baltimore. They have dogs. They have guys that are aggressive and, take charge, and they're dominant. Name me one dominant player on the Cowboys. I'll wait. There's not one. There's not one defensive player on the Cowboys right now that's in the top whatever in Pro Football Focus. Not an offensive player. Dak Prescott's been mediocre. I've known that since day one. He's even admitted, I've played average. No, below average. CeeDee Lamb can't get separation. He's not doing what he needs to do. All I see is a bunch of fucking complaining from him. There's no other wide receiver on the team that can be able to get separation. So with a bad offensive line, and if they're doubling your best wide receiver and other guys can't get open, what do you think is going to happen to your quarterback? It's not rocket science. So what are you telling your fan base? And instead of fixing the problem, you go ahead and have diversion. Oh, well, the fan tours in the stadium is distracting. We might have to consider eliminating those. No, it's not. You know what's distracting? The fact that you built this fucking museum in the first place. That's not really a home field advantage. It's a museum. It's not a home field. It doesn't feel like a home stadium. You did that, Jerry. You built this atrocity of a fucking stadium because you wanted to have other events. Okay, fine. Have your other events. They make a lot of money for you. Cowboys don't. Cowboys are one of the worst teams at home. There's a reason for that. There's a reason why they underperform at home. There's no safe haven here. There's more pressure on them at home than there is on the road. At least on the road, they can be able to relax a bit. That's the problem, is that the environment that Jerry Jones has created around this team is a fucking mess. Rather than us focusing on football, we're focusing on what this old-ass dinosaur is saying on a fucking podcast every week. Talking about he's going to take away people's credentials. Like, who? Jerry, what? Why? He's one of those egomaniacs and narcissistic people that all he wants to hear is all the good things that he does. Yeah, we're going to give you some praise when you do something fucking good. But if all of it is bad, no, we need answers. And you're the GM. It's not like you're just the owner and you have everybody. No. You wanted to be the general manager as well. General managers have to answer questions. If the roster that they put together is not producing and performing well, you need to respond to those questions. Not get defensive, because all that's going to do is make your fan base now question the leadership and what's going on and how we're going to move forward. Dak Prescott is making $60 million a year. Where's the other talent? Micah Parsons may end up breaking the bank in regards to being the highest paid defensive player. Is he worth it? Probably not. So you have all of these high-priced contracts and guys are not producing. That's not a winning formula. Go look at all the other organizations or what they do. They have a young quarterback. They can be able to keep under control. They go ahead and sign free agents. The Cowboys are the only team that's literally a contender that does not operate in free agency. Look at all the other teams. They operate through the draft. They operate through trades, and they operate through free agency to upgrade your roster. Jerry Jones, now we're gonna just draft players. That's not the way it works. Yeah, draft, it's important. It's not the only option of how to upgrade your team. This is why the Cowboys have not won. Because you went away from making big time acquisitions. The last time the Cowboys won something, they actually were signing guys in free agency. I remember when he signed primetime Deion Sanders in free agency. So if you can be able to do that back in the 90s and win, why wouldn't you think that that's the same formula that you should have now? It's not rocket science. But what I'm seeing is that there's a deterioration of this old fuck. And also his idiot son might have more control than we actually think he does. And that's always the way it works, right? Father, mother builds this empire, and the idiot kid that's been eating erasers and glue his whole fucking life and didn't have to worry about anything inherits this business, has no idea how to run it, and it doesn't have the passion that their parents put into it, and runs it into the fucking ground. That's what I'm saying. So that's the problem, is that even as Cowboy fans, some Cowboy fans are like, I can't wait until Jerry goes, because maybe then we'll have a chance. I don't even believe that, because the idiot's son will take over. And it'll probably be worse. Because if he's the one actually pulling the strings now, it's only going to get worse when he actually is in full control. So just prepare yourselves, Cowboys fans. It's not going to be much better than this. You're going to be this marginal, medium, middle of the road team. You're not going to win. You're going to have some years where you're high, you're low, you're in the middle. But look at all the other organizations around football. Look at the Detroit Lions. They had to bottom out to get good. The LA Rams bottom out to get good. Baltimore Ravens knew how to retool on the fly. All of these teams that have shown a propensity to be able to rebound and restart their franchise knew that they had to bottom out a little bit to now rise, except the Dallas Cowboys. You want to go ahead and just be mediocre? Fine. If that's the goal, to just make money, that's fine. But as your fan base, the people that are putting money into this organization with merchandise and ticket sales and season tickets and all of these things, at some point, the fans are going to start questioning the leadership, and that's going to start to hurt your pockets, because if fans stop going, maybe then you'll fucking listen. And this is the reason why you don't see any Dallas Cowboys merch on me. I won't give you a fucking dime until I start seeing some actual progress in being a real professional football team. After the break, Jets Watch! Definitely going to break that down, because boy, oh boy, people are very down on these Jets. Me, I don't know. Not so much. After the break.
Yo, it's your man DJ G Money from that Flip the Script podcast. You see it? We in the studio right now. Flip, shut up. Yeah. Whoa, listen. Shout out to the All Even podcast. My man Barry Grant Jr. What's up, man? What happened? What you want to say to the people?
Shout out somebody else's podcast?
Yeah, don't make it the joint. What's up?
All Even.
All Even podcast.
Yo, it ain't even up here, boy. We put this yo, what's up, man? All Even. Yo, oh my God. What's up with you, man? Now that's a shout out. You keeping this?
Yeah, keep all that. You want to jump in
All
the
Even
camera?
podcast, right?
Yeah, All
Shout out
Even.
to All Even podcast, right? All Even? That's your man?
My man.
All right, shout out to All Even podcast. You cool?
100%. He cool. Is he cool? Let me see. Is he cool?
G. Put him in G. Oh. Shout out, G.
He cool, man.
Welcome back, y'all. Now it's time for Jets Watch. The Jets are They look bad right now. They do. 2-5, coming off another tough loss. Can they turn it around? Jeff Ulbrich is the coach. Todd Downing is the OC. They didn't look bad. I think the offense showed some signs of life. The fact that Devontae Adams was there, he was cooking in the first half, and there was no production in the second half. But there's a lot that's going into this situation, man. It's one of those things where it's like the offensive line has to block better. Aaron Rodgers actually has to be better, right? But is it entirely an Aaron Rodgers problem? No, I don't think so. I think everybody has some blame, but we got to remember, right? It's a guy who had a pretty much subpar 2022 with the Green Bay Packers. He ends up going to the Jets, getting hurt, and now, he's healthy, but he's not really healthy. He's banged up, got a knee problem, ankle problem. Like, he is trying his best to try to tough his way through this season. And in regards to his play, I think a lot of that is kind of hurting the team somewhat in regards to the play calling. I think they need to maybe take some responsibility off of him until he gets fully healthy, right? Run the ball more. Do a lot more things where he doesn't have to put so much pressure on having to deliver the perfect pass or having to make sure that he has this particular guy. And no, let's run the ball, control the clock that way, and let Aaron Rodgers kind of pick his spots. Right now, what is he ranked? Pro Football Focus ranked number 13. In regards to Aaron Rodgers, that's not an Aaron Rodgers type of stat. Is he having a terrible season? Not a terrible season. Is he having an Aaron Rodgers type of season? No, he's not. And a lot of people are saying that Aaron Rodgers might be washed. He's not the same guy. He's 40 years old. Still has the arm strength, but he doesn't look like the same guy. He's not a great leader. But for me, I'm looking at it like, man, listen, this is Aaron Rodgers. I am not gonna count this guy out. So at 2-5, they have the New England Patriots coming up. And do I think that they can be able to beat the Patriots? Of course they can. The Patriots are a bad fucking football team. So yeah, I think that they do have a good chance to be able to start putting some wins together and making some things happen. So they got the Patriots, they got the Texans on Thursday Night Football. So if we're going to look at the next few games, right? Patriots, Texans, Cardinals, Colts, Seahawks, and Dolphins. I think the Jets can be able to win against the Patriots. That puts them in 3-5. I think they can be competitive against the Texans. They're going to be at home. So let's say that they lose that game. 3-6. Cardinals, they'll beat. 4-6. Colts, they'll beat. 5-6. Seahawks will be a tough game. So let's say that they beat the Seahawks at home. They're now 6-6. Now they're going to Miami with an AFC East matchup. Tua is going to be obviously a few weeks healthy and probably got the offense clicking back with Miami, but so will the Jets be clicking in their new offense with their new pieces, their new head coach, their new OC. Aaron Rodgers is 4 or 5 weeks healthier, right? You have both of these teams probably in a good spot. I think the Jets can be able to win this game. So we're talking about the next 6 games. They can possibly look at themselves going 5-1. I can see that happening. So is it all doom and gloom? No, it's not. I don't think it's all doom and gloom. Yes, they're 2-5. Yeah, it doesn't look as great. But when you look at the game that they lost against Denver, right? Shouldn't have lost that game. When you see the game that they lost against the Bills, shouldn't have lost that game. Like, they've been very, very competitive in every game that they've played. So you kind of close up some loopholes here, some holes in your offense, some holes in your defense, you can be able to see that this is a team that can be able to make that change and have that reverse and have a chance to make the playoffs. So I don't think that they're as bad as people want to say that they are. I think Aaron Rodgers is fine. I think Aaron Rodgers will be just fine. I think, you know, I'm an Aaron Rodgers guy, so I am not gonna write him off because I've seen this man go on stretches where he's completely unstoppable. So I am not the one to say Aaron Rodgers is washed. Plus, I love the way Jeff Ulbrich is actually coaching this team. I think he has passion. I think what I like about him is that he's not afraid to challenge his players, which is also a good thing. It makes guys understand that, hey, listen, we need to show up. We need to make sure that we get to where we need to be and we need to perform instead of half-assing it, because under Robert Saleh, the Jets did not produce because there was no leadership at the top. Let's just go ahead and see the splits for Aaron Rodgers. Let's see what's going on here. So he's 10 touchdowns to 7 interceptions, right? At home, he's 66% completion percentage, 4 touchdowns and an interception. On the road, his completion percentage drops to 58, and he's 6 touchdowns and 6 picks. He's been sacked more times at home than he's been on the road. So they got to get more production out of Aaron, obviously, at home. But they haven't had that many home games, obviously. They've only had 2. So they have a big stretch of home games coming up, which is really, really important for them. And I think it's going to allow them to be able to go on a nice run. So that's why I'm saying I don't necessarily think that the Jets are that far away from being a really, really good team. You know, in the month of October, what is he? He's see, the month of October, he's kind of struggling here. 59% completion percentage, 5 touchdowns and 6 picks. You know, his passer rating is really bad. So, you know, he has to pick up his play. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not going to excuse Aaron Rodgers' play. He hasn't played great. But at the end of the day, this is a guy coming off a major injury that's still trying to work himself back. And it's going to take him a while to get his groove. But once Aaron gets his, it's a bad man. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying that the Jets going to make the playoffs. They got a chance. And also that guy, Hassan Reddick, he's back. Right? But here's the thing with him, though. The fact that he went ahead and signed like this, I think he signed like a reconstructed 1-year deal. You did all of this shit, held out this whole time for a reconstructed deal. You didn't get no long-term contract. You could have been did this. It's just dumb. Like, if I'm your team, I'm looking at this is what you did, bro. Like, you ain't getting no bag yet. Like, they went ahead and like you know, took off all the fines and made it like he can be able to recoup $12 million in incentive base. He's gonna be able to recoup that based on all the minimum shit he has to do. But it's like, dude, you could have been had this. All you had to do from day one, I was telling everybody, right? I was telling my man Jeff, shouts to 6, just show up to camp. That's all they wanted you to do. Show your ass up. Show that you're a professional. You can be able to be here and be on a new team, be in a new organization, show face, and you get your money. I don't think that's hard. That's like you getting a new job. Like, hey, yeah, I refuse to work. I know I agreed to the hourly wage, but it's not good enough for me. I'm just not going to show up until you give me. We don't even know you. We had like 2 conversations.
Does it like even like him coming from the Eagles with the similar situation? Not
Yeah.
paid, does that now after the deals expired, like, do teams look at him maybe like, I don't want to potentially sign him 'cause he's an
Absolutely.
issue?
Yeah, 100%. Because they're like, okay, well, if he doesn't get a deal done with the Jets after everything broke down with the Eagles, why am I going to now sign up for that? Because the thing is, The only difference is that after this season, if he doesn't get a deal, then he's a free agent, right? So if you're gonna get him at that point, you have to offer him a contract, whether it's a short-term or a long-term deal. So, but teams are gonna definitely be a little hesitant because of how he does business. He has a new agent now, Drew Rosenhaus, and that's a power agent and all that stuff, whatever, but just dumb. I just didn't understand it. So, moving on. Yeah, it's just dude, like you did all of that for nothing. Moving on. Who is my NFL MVP right now? If I had to choose, I'm going outside of the realm of what the NFL likes to say, because the NFL has turned the NFL MVP into the quarterback award. It should be everybody that should be eligible for it. Running backs, wide receivers, it doesn't matter. It should be the most valuable player, not the most valuable quarterback. So the most valuable player to me right now is Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry has changed life for the Baltimore Ravens. The fact that they've always had a Lamar Jackson threat, dual guy that can be able to pass, run. He's probably the most talented, gifted runner at quarterback we've ever seen in the NFL, right? But now you put this 6'3", 250-pound monster in the backfield. And this is not a guy that plods. Like, if he breaks away, he's running by everybody. Somebody that size should not be doing that. And then you see his training videos. The dude's he's a monster. Why would the Cowboys decide him? Just why? It just don't make sense. So the man has over 1,000 rushing yards already. He's on pace for 2,000. He's on pace to shatter it. He's a beast. So he's my MVP because he's changed the dynamic of that offense. They've had to fear Lamar Jackson. Now you have to fear two guys. And what that does is that the play action and the RPO, the run play act, all of that stuff is now more dangerous because you're scared of Lamar taking off and running with it, but you're also scared to hand it off to the big monster in the backfield too. So now what does that do? Now you want to stack the box, and now that's going to leave a lot of wide receivers with one-on-one coverage on the outside. And if you got guys that are very fast, like a Flowers and all these other guys, it gives them advantages that a lot of teams don't have. So he has changed life for the Baltimore Ravens. The last time they had an impact runner like this was who? Was it Lewis? Yeah. It was Jamal Lewis. Jamal Lewis was the last time they had a guy that was this dominant. You need a guy like that to be able to change the dynamic of your team. Running backs still matter. Are they the reason why you win Super Bowls? No. But they're a good piece to have. And when you have a guy like that, that's an old school version of a running back. He's not a new school running back. He's an Eric Dickerson type of running back. He's a Jamal Anderson type of running back. He is a guy that he's one of those guys that can be able to have 300 plus carries in a season and not wear down. He actually gets stronger as the season goes along. He's different. So that's my NFL MVP. I get that there's some quarterbacks, but there's a lot of high-priced quarterbacks that are actually not playing so well. And that goes into my next segue. There's a team out there right now that everybody likes to fawn over. Oh, they're the new dynasty. They're the new New England Patriots. Who's going to stop them? Are they going to be the first team to win 3 straight Super Bowls? They're 6-0. Flying high in regards to the score or the record. But how is Patrick Mahomes playing? The guy that they said is possibly on the track to be better than Tom Brady. How's he playing? Last time I checked, yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say I don't know if it changed, but last I saw he has more interceptions than touchdowns.
Yeah,
so
playing like dog shit. And that's the thing with me is that there's such a bias in the media that you can be able to play so poorly but still get the same adulation and same respect. And oh well, here the Chiefs are 6-0. The defense is the reason why they 6-0. That defense is elite. But correct me if I'm wrong. What is Mr. Pat Mahomes doing right here? Let's go ahead and see his numbers, shall we? See what he's actually doing. Because the last time I checked, if there's a quarterback that's putting up numbers like this, we would have certain conversations about that quarterback if he's good or not. Let's see. Hold on. All right. Here we go. Patrick Mahomes. 6 touchdowns to 8 picks. Has a passer rating of 82.5. It's the lowest in his career as a starter. His completion percentage is right where it normally is, around 67%. And over the last 2 seasons, you can see that his yards per play has dropped. All because there's no skilled weapons on the outside. So let's think about this, right? Patrick Mahomes has always had a guy like Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, Rashee Rice, all of these big-time dynamic playmakers, and he doesn't have those anymore. But yet, he's not, if he's supposed to be Tom Brady, if he's supposed to be Peyton Manning, if he's supposed to be Drew Brees, isn't it your responsibility to create wide receivers? That's what Tom Brady did. Tom Brady had a whole bunch of no-name guys that he made guys out of, right? Wes Welker, you name it. Julian Edelman, all of these guys who didn't matter. System, they were productive. So where's the system here? Where's the situation?
Even like I said, I was looking at I'm like, how's this team 6-0 when you have obviously the quarterback playing terrible?
Yeah.
But you said like the defense, but I'm like, they don't even have, like, granted they had injuries, but I'm like, who even is on this team?
He got nothing. Yo, the man didn't even pass for 200 yards the last game. Yeah, he had that rushing touchdown, but bro, he's not playing well. Mm-hmm. And this is something that has spread over last season as well. He had the most interceptions that he's ever had in his career. He had the second lowest touchdown total of his career, right? His yards per play were the lowest in his career. All of those things, they matter. I don't see a quarterback that's getting better. I see a quarterback that has great skills. He has a great arm. He's talented. But I see regression in Patrick Mahomes. When Kelce is getting older, which means that I'm starting to see some, okay, where is the design of getting other guys in play? Andy Reid is actually having to coach a lot more this season to get this offense where it needs to be. He's making a lot more mistakes. Not Andy Reid, but we're talking about Patrick Mahomes than he normally does. Passing, red zone interceptions, passing the ball to, just making dumb bonehead plays in regards to bad interceptions. And that's Tom Brady? That's the guy that you're telling me is better than Tom? Nah. No. I see Patrick Mahomes as, and this is probably going to upset a lot of people. I don't care. He looks more like a system quarterback to me. Andy Reid is the MVP of this particular team because he's turning a guy that is a little bit more like a maverick into one of the all-time greats. I think Patrick Mahomes is closer to Brett Favre than he is to Tom Brady. I think he's closer to Brett Favre than he is to Aaron Rodgers. He's not a better thrower of the football right now than Aaron Rodgers is. So this guy that people keep telling me that he's this generational player, I don't see it. Because once you take the weapons away, he's not a guy that can be able to, he's not a weapon maker like how some of the great quarterbacks were. So don't tell me that he's in this upper tier of great quarterbacks when he can't make weapons. You're supposed to be Patrick Mahomes. Three-time Super Bowl winner. Yeah, okay. Show me then. Because if anybody else were to have these particular stats through 6 games, what would they say? Look, got bad quarterback play. Aaron Rodgers has better stats than this, but yet we're talking about how bad Aaron Rodgers is.
I was going to say, Daniel Jones a little bit.
Yeah. Look, very Daniel Jones-esque right here.
Yeah.
But you see how the media won't talk about this. Because why? They're 6-0. But I remember there was years ago where the Pittsburgh Steelers were winning games. Close games. Nobody bought into them nationally. Why? Because the offense was bad. Quarterback play was bad. Defense was great, but that wasn't sustainable going into the playoffs. Nobody bought into them. So why is everybody buying into this team nationally then? I haven't been impressed not buying out one game this season from them. Not one. I haven't been impressed now by one game that Pat Mahomes has played. Not one. People who have Patrick Mahomes as a fantasy player right now, they've dropped him. He's probably one of the most dropped players in fantasy right now. No value.
Yeah, no, I was just checking. I think one week he got over, 12 points.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
He's been rubbish. He's on pace for 20 interceptions.
Crazy. You even think about last season just throwing darts, getting everybody,
Yeah.
Think of interceptions, and now got more.
Yeah. It's difficult now when you don't have a fast ass motherfucker running past everybody. And as much as they want to say, Rashid Rice wasn't a wide receiver, yeah, he was. Now they went ahead and made a trade for DeAndre Hopkins a year too late, in my opinion. We'll see what he does with a DeAndre Hopkins. They gave you a weapon, so we'll see what you do after that. But for me, it's just stop giving me bullshit and telling me that this is the greatest thing that I've ever seen. Because it really isn't. This has been the worst 6-0 team that I've seen in some time. This is supposed to be the dynasty. This team, the Lions are better. The Rams look better. I think the Bills look better. The Ravens look better. There's plenty of teams. Give me the Texans. All of these teams look better. Give me the Pittsburgh Steelers. At least we know their defense has always been there and they have quarterback troubles. But they're not telling us that this is the greatest thing we've ever seen. I'm not sold. Kansas City fans, they might be mad. Patrick Mahomes fans, they might call me a hater. Go ahead and pull the numbers up and tell me how impressive that is. Because if this was any other quarterback, we'd be dogging that quarterback right now. Don't tell me what he's done. Tell me what he's doing. That's how sports is. What have you done for me lately? So yes, the team is 6-0, how's your quarterback playing? Because I can literally tell you that, yeah, Dak Prescott's all right. Team is 3-3. But the criticism is fair. He hasn't played well. I need to hear that same energy with Mr. Patrick Mahomes. Tom Brady. Give me a fucking break. After the break, there's another quarterback I'd like to discuss. And the team may really need to start thinking about packing him the fuck up as well after the break.
Yo, this is Cigar Gents and Gals. I want to give a shout out to my boy Barry for leaving podcast. Keep doing your thing, bro. Killing it.
They say that certain guys have the it factor. And when you see them step on the scene, you know, they show flashes of greatness. Oh my goodness, he has the poise of a Tom Brady. He has the IQ of a Peyton Manning. He commands the offense so well. Wow, they stole him where they drafted him. You've heard stories like that. You heard, obviously, Tom Brady was a person like that, right? Stole him in the 6th round. Dak Prescott, you've heard that. They stole him in the 4th round. The list goes on in regards to other quarterbacks that have kind of outperformed their draft position. But at some point, when we've seen the full spectrum of their game, that opinion changes. After you see something more times, it becomes less impressive. It becomes questionable. It's kind of like, you know, you're talking to this girl or guy, and it's, oh my goodness, this person is so good, right? And you I guess you hang out with this person every other weekend. Oh man, it's so fun. Spend a couple hours together and it's great. But then you start to see this person all the time. And it's like, wait a minute. There's flaws here. I didn't see this before. This didn't rear its head until now because I'm seeing it a lot more. Brock Purdy is kind of like that, isn't he? When Brock Purdy came on the scene, nobody expected nothing from Brock Purdy. They expected him to just be salvageable, serviceable. Hey, don't screw this up, kid. We got a good team. We got a good defense. Just don't make mistakes. And he did that. And he went above and beyond that and got them into the Super Bowl, right? But you start to see them a lot more. Year 2, plays pretty good last year. He was in the MVP talks. But after a while, when the weapons started to get hurt, you saw his play drop. And now you're starting to think, is he a guy that can be able to lead us as a franchise quarterback, or is he just a guy that can fit the system? I'm telling you that Brock Purdy is a guy that just fits your system. The San Francisco 49ers are in a tough spot. They don't have a quarterback that they can turn to. They don't have somebody that says, man, you know, Brock Purdy's struggling right now. Do we stay with Brock or do we give somebody else another opportunity? They don't have that. They have to go all in with Brock Purdy. But here's the other problem is that it's almost payday for Brock Purdy. So if they don't extend him this year, obviously I think he has a 5th-year option. It's either shit or get off the pot very soon. And the money that he's going to be asking for is Dak Prescott level money. That's the going price now, $55+ million a year. Now you're really going to go spend that for a guy that anytime that there's weapons that are hurt, Brandon Ayuk is out for the season. You have what's the other guy? We have
Debo?
Yeah, Debo Samuel. Banged up, has pneumonia. We don't know how he's gonna come back. Well, you know, they have Kittle, George Kittle that's there. They have Christian McCaffrey that we don't know when he's coming back. So all of these pieces that they're supposed to have, and now you have a quarterback that's reliant on those pieces, and you're starting to see the struggles, right? October, what are we seeing? 3 games, 57% passer percentage, right? 4 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. He has a quarterback rating of 73.5. Sounds good? No. It's terrible. This is supposed to be a team that's destined for the Super Bowl. They have a lot of high-priced contracts this year. So they've pushed all of their chips into the middle of the table. And for right now, they don't look like a Super Bowl team at all. They're 3-4, and they have big concerns. Now, yeah, they got the Cowboys coming up. Even if they beat the Cowboys, you still don't look at this team as that they're actually a contender. And it starts with their quarterback. He's average. I think he's always been average. I think the fact that he got them to the Super Bowl kind of gave people this false perception of who he actually is. He was mystery relevant in the draft for a reason. He got this opportunity and he's made the best of it. But the longer you see Brock Purdy is the more he becomes that significant other that now you're spending a lot more time with, and you're starting to realize that they're fucking annoying. And you have to find a way to break this to them gently. Dear John letter is coming, right? That ghost text or whatever it is, right? Something's coming to say we have to sever this relationship. It's not you, it's me. So at some point, the San Francisco 49ers are probably going to have to tell Brock Purdy, it's not you, it's me. Because he's not a guy, clearly, that can be able to lead them to the Super Bowl if everything is not perfect. You need a quarterback. If you're going to pay a quarterback $60 million a season, he needs to be a guy that can be able to go off script and literally drag your team through the mud to get you a win. This is why, Patrick Mahomes has that ability. Joe Burrow has that ability. I shit on Patrick Mahomes, but he does have that ability. He has way more talent than a Brock Purdy does. San Francisco has a lot to think about, but this kid, he ain't it, man. He's not it. Against the AFC, 3 games against the AFC, he's 1 touchdown to 4 interceptions. He's playing terrible. Playing terrible. So if this is the guy that you want to lead your team, you have to face an AFC team in the Super Bowl. So if he can't beat any AFC teams, doesn't bode well for your chances, does it? You're going to be left like the bridesmaid at the altar again. Look at these numbers. It's just outside of the AFC West, the NFC West, he's been poor. He's just not producing the way they want him to produce. 9-7 at this point in regards to 9 touchdowns and 7 interceptions is just not enough. This is not enough to be able to say, I'm going to commit $60 million to this quarterback. I don't see that this is a viable option. Let me see what he's ranked on Pro Football Focus. What do they have him? So according to Pro Football Focus, they have him at 5. Have him over C.J. Stroud, Josh Allen, Geno Smith, Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold. No, it's bullshit. No. Whoever's watching this in regards to Pro Football Focus, you need to watch again. Because I see a guy that is strictly dependent on the weapons that are around him. That's not a $60 million quarterback to me. It's not. You need somebody that can be able to take over a game, and he's not. He's just not that guy. Doesn't look the part. Good. Definitely not somebody who's not going to be in the NFL. He's a backup. He's a very good backup. Very good number 2. Can't be a number 1. He's a guy that can be able to, if your number one guy is hurt, can step in for a few games, man the ship, and there won't be mass panic, right? But for him to be your franchise guy, it just can't happen. Can't happen. So the San Francisco 49ers have a lot to think about. If I was them, I'd be looking for a new quarterback come the offseason, whether it be via trade, whether it be through the draft, whether it be through free agency. They have to figure out how they're going to be able to right this ship because their window is closing. And you don't want your window to close with Brock fucking Purdy. I'm just being honest. Week 8 has arrived in the NFL, and I need you to go ahead and download the Locker app. Put in promo code. Let's do it again. Week 8 is here. The NFL. Let's get it out. Blah, blah, blah. Week 8 of the NFL season is here. I need you to download the Locker app. It's a great app. Go to your app store, download the Locker app. Type in all even in the promo code. You get $100 deposit match. That's big. Go to the All Even League as well if you want to go ahead and join that. I'm in there. I'm the number 1 leader in my league. Nobody else can touch me, not even the Silent Assassin. You can win money. You can be able to bet on certain quarters, scenarios. It's a different type of situation than any other sports betting app out there. It's an interesting, dynamic app. I love it. I play it all the time. My friends love it. Download the app, get in there, type in All Even, and I'll see you in the All Even League. Week 8 NFL picks. I think I did good the last time. My record is not so bad. I had a good record the other week. Somebody hit me up and said, "Yo, you only missed like 2 of them." And it was the Cowboys and somebody else I missed. So, not too bad. Let's see what we got. Jets and Patriots. I've already discussed this. Jets are on the road against the Patriots. They're -7 on the road. That is a dangerous spread to even take because the Jets will disappoint you. They would. They will win this game, but that spread, I got the Jets winning, and winning by, I don't know, 27-19. Eagles and Bengals. This is definitely going to be a good game here. Eagles are on the road against the Bengals at 3-4. Bengals are starting to play a little better. I got the Bengals winning this game. I think Joe Burrow is the better quarterback. I think the defense could be a push. I like the Bengals' weapons more. They got the Bengals -2.5. I got the Bengals winning this game. Packers and Jaguars. You got Jordan Love versus BoJack Horseman. Boy, the Jaguars are just bad. Everybody talking about how good Trevor Lawrence is. He's not good. I don't see it. He's like Brock Purdy to me. The long-faced version of Brock Purdy. Get BoJack out of here. He's not good. But they're at home. Green Bay's -4 on the road. That tells you everything. They're 5-2. I got the Packers blowing them out in Jacksonville. We got Titans and Lions. Lions are at home. Lions are the best team in football, in my opinion. Detroit is -11. That's probably the biggest spread of the weekend. Yeah, well, you can take that. You can take that to the bank. Lions are going to beat the hell out of the Titans, and it might not even be that close. Falcons and Bucks, going to be a good game. NFC North matchup. Wow. Falcons are -2.5 on the road. I like the Falcons. I like their offense, man. I think the Falcons, they're starting to put it together. Drake London is really putting together an impressive season. That kid is talented. Kyle Pitts is starting to put it together. I think, Kirk Cousins. He's going to give you what he gives you in the regular season. They're not a bad team. I like them. And I also like the Bucks, too. I think Baker Mayfield's doing a good job, but somebody got to win. I got the Falcons. Cardinals and Dolphins. God, this is a game that who wants to watch it? Who cares? Miami is -4. They're at home. Yeah, I can see that happening. I think the fact that Tua is back, I think that will give them a jolt. Obviously, the Vegas odds are showing that as well. So I can see that the Dolphins can have the advantage. That defense is not impressive, though. Give me the Cardinals. Give me the Cardinals to win this game. I'll take it back. I got the Cardinals winning this game. Ravens and Browns. This is an AFC North matchup. Always a tough game between these two teams, but the fact that there's no quarterback, obviously Deshaun Watson is out. Jameis Winston is in. Ravens, to me, are one of the best teams in football. Ravens are going to beat them up. It's not going to be an easy game, but I think the Ravens win this and win it by at least 3. Colts and Texans. Another good matchup. AFC South matchup. Texans are at home, -5. Give me the Texans. They're playing good. They look good. Saints and Chargers. Chargers got to figure it out. I think the Chargers are in this kind of medium phase. They're not bad. They're not great. They're right there in sports purgatory, and you don't really want to be there. But I think they have the talent to be able to get out of that. They're -7 at home. Give me the Chargers to win this game, and I think Justin Herbert ends up having a really good game. Let's see who we got. Oh, we have my locker pick of the week coming up. Bills and Seahawks. Bills and Seahawks is my locker pick of the week, game of the week. This is a good game between two pretty decent quarterbacks, good offenses, good defenses, well coached. I like the way Geno Smith is playing, man. I think Geno Smith at home. They have the Bills -3. Give me the Seahawks. Give me the Seahawks and the 12th man to be able to come through with this game, man. I like the Seahawks. I like what they're doing. I like the weapons. I think Metcalf and those boys over there doing their job. So give me the Seahawks to win this game. This is also a fun game too. Bears and Commanders. 2 rookie quarterbacks. I mean, I know that Jaden Daniels is hurt, but both teams have bright futures. Not gonna go against my man Caleb Williams. I got the Bears. Bears are gonna win this game. They're actually -3 on the road as well. So give me the Bears. Caleb Williams has gotten better every week that he's played, and that's what you want to see out of a young quarterback. He's learning. The game is slowing down for him. He's understanding what he has to do, and he's getting better week to week, and that's beautiful to watch. Panthers and Broncos. This is the god-awful game. Who cares, right? Bryce Young is back. That should tell you everything you need to know. Give me the Broncos. Give me the Broncos to win this game. They're -10.5, so it's the second highest spread of the week. And that shows you they changed the quarterback, right? So normally changing the quarterback will give you a little boost. They said, oh, no. This is going the other way. Give me back Dalton. No. Bryce Young's bad. He's bad. If it was a choice between Brock Purdy and Bryce Young, give me Brock Purdy. Bryce Young makes Brock Purdy look like John Elway. That's how bad he is. And Chiefs and Raiders. Raiders have been a abject failure this season. Their offense is bad. Their quarterback play has been inconsistent. Who the hell is starting? We don't know. Chiefs are 6-0. The Chiefs are -9.5. It's the third highest spread of the week. Give me the Chiefs. They're gonna win this game, win it ugly too. They're not gonna win in a blowout because their offense is shit. So they'll win the game, but it's not gonna be pretty. You got Cowboys and 49ers for the Sunday night game. Cowboys are right on brand for where I think they're gonna be. San Francisco is -4.5 at home. Give me the 49ers to win this game, and they're gonna pummel the Cowboys. I got 35-13. Beat the hell out of them. Beat the hell out of them. Okay, I don't see anything else. This team has no offense, no offensive line. Micah Parsons ain't playing. Not that he's going to do anything anyway. The cornerbacks are bad. There's just nothing. There's nothing about this team outside of the kicker that I like. Nothing. So give me the 49ers. As bad as Brock Purdy is, he's going to look like Tom Brady against the Cowboys. You watch. And for the Monday night game, this is actually a pretty good game. The records don't really tell the story of these two teams, but then it's going to be a fairly good game. This could have also been my locker game of the week, but I had picked the Giants before. I'm not doing it again. Giants and Steelers. Steelers are at home. Russell Wilson is now the starting quarterback. You saw what he did on Sunday. Lit it up like a Christmas tree. I like what I saw. I call that. I knew that was going to happen. I knew it. And then you got Captain Small Hands. He's not playing bad. I will say that Daniel Jones is not playing bad. Did the girl come out and say that she's now, they're dating again? Is that what happened?
I haven't seen it, but possibly.
It's possible. She claimed him again. That's probably what happened. Steelers, I think, are just a better team. They have the better offense. They're better coached. The defense is insane. They're -6 at home as well, so the spread tells it all. Daniel Jones is going to have a rough game. It's going to be a rough game. He's definitely going to have to use his legs, go off script, do a lot of, RPO. I think Malik Neighbors will be back this game, possibly, right? So we'll see exactly what happens. If the Giants could be able to figure out how to move the ball and find a way to not get TJ Watt involved into the defense and not get into that backfield, they may have a shot. But I think the Steelers, the way they're coached, the way their offense is designed, now they have a guy that can be able to throw the deep ball. We saw George Pickens come alive last week, where everybody was saying that this kid is immature, he's a diva, we don't even know if he's good. No, Russell Wilson said, that kid's good, and I'm going to keep throwing him the goddamn football. So I think the Steelers are going to win this game and win it handily. That is my Week 8 picks. Pretty solid. I think I'm going to do very well. Like Trump, very well. There's not going to be anybody that has better picks than me, right? The greatest picks ever. Yeah, I think there's some good matchups this week. Some decent matchups. I would love the Raiders to beat the Chiefs. I would. And I'm going to see how this game goes, because if Patrick Mahomes goes out there and throws 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions against the Raiders, we're going to have to start having real conversations now about how good he is. If it's just the pieces and the coaching, or is it him? Because I heard people kept telling me, Tom Brady, he made Belichick. Nah, it was a combined situation. They needed each other. This ain't that. This is a symbiotic relationship. Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. Without Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes would be Brock Purdy. That's what I'm saying. People want to say that I see what I see. I don't see a quarterback that's doing what he's supposed to be doing. He don't look like Aaron Rodgers. He don't look like a Peyton Manning. He don't look like a Tom Brady to me. He looked like Brett Favre. That's what he looked like. He looked like Jake He looks like Jake Cutler. That's what he looks like. Get him out of here. And the fact that his wife, you know what it is? I think his wife jinxed him. When she came out and endorsed who she endorsed, it was all downhill after that. Like, before that, we didn't know who the hell she was supporting. Patrick Mahomes was the man. After that, just look at the timeline. It's been all downhill from there. So that's what I'm saying. After the break, we're going to go ahead and talk about some football. No, not football. We're done with football. Some basketball. And then we have irrelevant news of the week as well. After the break. Now it's time for my irrelevant news of the week.
You gotta be kidding me. I mean, how do you watch them? I mean, they stink.
Every week I go ahead and I find some interesting stories. And what the hell do I have this week? What we got? Of course. Former Bears quarterback Jay Cutler was arrested in Tennessee for DUI and gun possession per multiple reports. I was just talking about Jay Cutler, one of the segments before, and it's just like, I don't understand how you can have all of this fucking money and you still want to act like an idiot. Like, he was an idiot when he was playing. Immature quarterback, nobody really liked him. You retire now, and you become more of an idiot. You just got money, just sit back and relax. Why do you have to get drunk and go behind the wheel of a car? Explain to me that. How does that make sense?
That's like especially seeing it like on the road, people just driving great. Like my biggest, I get furious inside. I'm like, get the hell off the road. Like, what are you doing? Because after, when accidents happen, you always see that they walk away, and then the other person,
Yeah,
something happens to them,
exactly.
they lose their life, or
Yeah.
they're in the hospital, everyone's just walking away free. It's like, that's just call an Uber, call a friend, or just wait it out, wait till you're not trying to get
Stay your dumb ass
crazy.
home. How about
Yeah.
that? Get drunk on your couch.
Yeah.
Get drunk on your couch. Sit there in your drawers and just drink your sorrows away. But don't get in a car.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this dude has had one of the most disappointing careers. It's just an immature, just bad person. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes you hope that people can be able to turn it around. And we've seen Ryan Leaf. He had, some demons and some issues when he was playing and flushed out of the league. But, he's now a motivational speaker. He's got a pot. He's done wonders in regards to turning his life around. A guy like Jay Cutler's not there yet. I'm not saying that he can't get there, but it don't look like he's anywhere close to being where he needs to be. And like gun possession, like what is with these rednecks and their guns? Right? Ain't gonna take my gun away. Got my bottle of Thunderbird and my gun. Like, dude, you live in Chicago. You live in like you don't live in Texas or some. Come on, like, relax. Jay Cutler, just get help, dude. Get help. Like, figure out a way to get your life back. But it's like, I understand that money doesn't cure everything, bro. But it at least can be able to point you in the right direction to start turning your fucking life around and being a goddamn knucklehead. Moving on. Studies show that cats recognize their owners' voices, but choose to ignore it. Yeah. You know what? I believe this because I have 2 cats, and there's times where I'm calling Saba's name. I'm like, "Oh, dude," and he's just looking around like he hears something, but he doesn't know where it's coming from. Lies. You know exactly who the fuck is calling you. You know my voice, and you understand what I'm trying to do. Taiki's another one. She's a jerk. I have 2 cats that are just jerks. And I've heard this from many owners. Like, yeah, I'll be calling my cat and they don't answer. Right? I Breasted Dead, remix. I used to come in the house and I couldn't find her. Right? And I'd call her remix. There'd be a half hour that passed. All of a sudden, you see this knucklehead come out of some hole in the wall. Right? I've been calling you for an hour, fam. I know you heard me. What is that? So let's see what the hell they say. So they said, researchers tested this by playing recordings of both the owners' and strangers' voices, noting that the cats reacted more noticeably to their owners. However, despite recognizing the familiar voice, the cat showed no physical response. Yo, that's disrespectful. While a dumbass dog, trying to find wherever you at. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like my dog's like calling me.
Yeah.
Basically, it's like, looking for me out. I'm like, I don't want to be with you right now.
Right. You're not even calling the dog. You're like, did you rang? You rang? I heard your voice. No, I didn't ask for you. A cat, but let you crack that can open and put some food there. They start rubbing up on you. Yeah, you know what it is? You know what I realize about cats? They gold diggers. They're very possession. Like, they care about material stuff. And they just want to, they just want you to feed them, change their litter box, and get the hell out of the way. They don't care about you. Mm-hmm. They don't care. Mm-hmm. Ungrateful heathens. Mm-hmm. I saved Sabo from death. And this cat, I come home and this cat doesn't even breathe on me. Mm-hmm. But let Jasmine come and sit down on the couch. Oh, look at this Benedict Arnold over here. I saved you, man. So yeah, I believe this. Cats ain't shit. Moving on. James Franco and Seth Rogen end their 20-year friendship. Wow. This is big. Obviously, it's been a rough go for Mr. James Franco as he was accused of sexual misconduct in 2018. That's all right. I'm going to ask a question. You have a friend, this is a lifelong friend. Some allegations come out. is that going to change your perception of your friend? Whatever you can imagine. I'm not going to give you a scenario, but any bad scenario out there, would it change your relationship or perception of this person that has been your close confidant for decades?
I think it's a lot of things to look at. Like, I guess one, just for them, their industry they're in.
Right.
Two, not celebrity level, depends what the allegations, how far they went, and how many. And also two, another third, I don't think I'd be as close to the friend if I found out this situation was going on, and obviously I'd have a long conversation with them, and if they continue to act like, continue to have allegations against them, or they just don't care about the allegations, I guess, then it also depends as well. But just to kind of just drop everything, I don't think it would work that way. Just it depends on the situation and if they can change from, what happened.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's one of those things where I completely agree with what you're saying. With the industry that they're in, a guy like Seth Rogen has to protect his image, right? So if you're hanging out with a guy like James Franco with all the bad, Me Too stuff that's going on out there, it rubs off on you. Branding, like whatever sponsors you have, like whatever business arrangements you have, all of those things are in jeopardy if you go ahead and attach yourself to this negative situation, right? So I get that, but man, it's a tough question to answer because when you think about these close relationships that you've had, there's a lot of sweat equity into that relationship. There's a lot of things that you've gone through individually, personally, together, and to sever a relationship off of that, I can't say that is right or wrong. I think it's just more of a circumstance. It's more of wherever you're at in your life at that point, right? It's unfortunate though. I think it's a tale of just a sad situation where this is like a legit brother and you're no longer friends with this person. But I mean, I have experience with stuff like that in regards to not something like person was accused of anything and I had to distance myself, but I've had relationships that I had to sever, and I've known people for over 20 years. You know what I mean? So it's something that a lot of people go through, and it's never easy, but you make the decision that's best for you because you have to protect yourself at the end of the day. Nobody's going to protect you more than yourself. So, Claw, I don't think I'd ever detach myself from Claw, though. Claw's my guy. Claw calls me tomorrow and says, hey, listen, there's a situation I have. I said, where's the body? Give me 10 minutes, dig a ditch, and I got some bleach. That's it.
Good to know.
Like Dexter. Like, this is it. You know what I mean? But yeah, in all seriousness, so it's a tough position for anybody to be in. You know what I mean? Like even family members that you hear, serial killer, what? You want me to do what? You want me to give him? No, I can't do it. Like, you know what I mean? You understand that, yes, this person did something bad, but I also empathize and sympathize with them. Like, yo, this is my son. This is my whatever. Like, you can't get that answer out of me.
Yeah, I was like, say, because you see a lot of the time, like, a boyfriend goes crazy, kills the girl, whatever it may be. I'm like, thinking, like, if my brothers ever did that,
right?
Like, I'm going to support them and love them no matter what, but you got to fess up and commit to your crime. Because you can't be out there doing that. And there's that
because it also makes you an accomplice. It makes you feel like you're holding this in because you know the truth, right? Yeah.
It's like, I'm here, I'm not going to listen to all the outside people. Like, I know who you are.
Right.
Whatever happened, but you got to man up and do your,
right.
Confess to that. I'm not going to be hiding for you and all this stuff. Or, parents, saving their kids from doing crimes. Like, no, you're growing up. You gotta handle the situation.
That's fair. Listen, I can't even judge you for that. So it's anybody who passes judgment on that, you probably never been in a situation. You know what I mean? It's easy to be able to look from the outside and say, "Oh, I'll never do that." Yeah, you're not in that situation. You probably don't have those close friends or family members in your life because you're an asshole and probably people hate you. But it's tough. It's not easy, man. It's not an easy situation. So, James Franco, I mean, look, I'm not even going to say nothing because anytime you hear any type of sexual allegation out there, you got to take it seriously. And, well, if we're going to be, this is where my brain starts to operate in a different way. We can look at a guy like James Franco crazy, and his best friend can be able to distance himself, and he can be excommunicated out of Hollywood, right? Lose his way of earning money and all of this stuff. But yeah, we have a potential presidential candidate that has, never mind. That is my irrelevant news of the week.
You gotta be kidding me. I mean, how do you watch the? I mean, yeah, they stink.
To basketball. And, I've been waiting. I've been chomping at the bit for this segment. This whole basketball segment is just going to make me so happy. My favorite topic, and we have to discuss it. But before we do that, the segment's back, and we know what that is. Dehumidifiers and space heaters. We back, baby. We back. But guess what? It's a different type of situation because they are no longer in the basement. They got their own house now. They got their own arena. What's it called? Inuit Arena? Whatever the hell it is. It's nice. It's really nice. Right? It's kind of like that friend that you have and you know that they are, they're cheap. And they have really no savings, but they went ahead and bought this stadium or this house that's like out of their means just to impress people and to have this image of success when they can't even, they don't have 2 pennies to rub together. That's what it feels like to me. It's like you put on this elaborate ruse, this big innovative arena. Oh my goodness, look at all this $1 billion. Oh, it's nice. It's the Clippers though. Nobody cares. Nobody gives a shit. But here's what I care about. Is that I remember back in 2019, there was the summer of Kawhi Leonard. And everybody's like, Kawhi Leonard's the best player in the world. Comparing him to, they had ESPN shows comparing him to Michael Jordan. Oh, he's on pace to be. Oh, okay. Went ahead and signed with the Clippers. Everybody, Clippers are the best team in LA. Made a commercial. King of LA, right? Everybody's hyped about the Clippers. 5 years later, where are we? LeBron James is still playing high level of basketball. Lakers look good. And Kawhi Leonard can't stay on the field. He can't stay on the court. Had another knee operation recently. And they're saying that he's projected to miss weeks of the season. At this point, what do you say? Is it worth continuing your basketball career when you're constantly going to be in pain? I don't know. The Clippers are literally throwing money away. And these are the things that I talk about, is that when you are a desperate franchise like the Clippers, you are so desperate that you'll go ahead and you'll sleep with or tie yourself with the wrong person. It's like somebody who's never really dated before, right? And they go ahead and they find this person that makes them feel good. But at the end of the day, that person is not the right person for them. But because you don't know when the next time you'll actually attract somebody that looks like this, or that's going to give you this particular attention, you hang on to the toxicity. While everybody around you is telling you, you need to walk away. This is not good for you. This is what the Clippers are. They tied themselves to the worst leader in basketball, guy that can't stay healthy. He is the one that pretty much invented load management and took advantage of it. He signed a new contract, and what are you getting for that contract? Nothing. He can't stay on the court. Yeah, I talk a lot about Ben Simmons. But you know who the second biggest criminal in North American sports history is? Kawhi Leonard. He's been stealing and robbing the Clippers blinds for years. 5 years. At some point, as an organization, you have to think about it. He's getting older. He's not going to be able to give us anything. And what is the point? And for Kawhi Leonard, he really needs to look at, is this how I want to have the image of my career? He's been hurt more than he's actually been great. That's concerning. He's going to deal with pain for the rest of his career. He's going to deal with bone-on-bone issues for the rest of his career. You constantly see him limping around. He tried to play in the Olympics and couldn't do it. Had to withdraw. He can't play for long stretches of time. So how is that going to work for a franchise that's trying to build their own identity with removing themselves out of the Lakers' home? They have their own home now. They're trying to build their own reputation as being a reputable franchise and created their new line of lineage and legacy and all this stuff. But how do you do this with this albatross of a contract hanging over your head? I don't care how much money Mr. Ballmer has. This is a bad deal. And this is a bad deal that you got to find a way to get out of it. Your franchise is not going to do well if you continue to go down this road of appeasing to guys that don't deserve it. Kawhi Leonard's a good player, but he didn't deserve this level of treatment in regards to getting everything he wanted. It's not the way you're supposed to do things. There's certain players that deserve that type of level of treatment. Kawhi Leonard was not one of them. You give guys that type of treatment when they're great leaders, when they're great ambassadors of the game, when they're marketable. All of these things you can be able to do. Kawhi Leonard is none of those things. Never has been. When he was on the Spurs, he was a good player, but he was always the guy that played the back to the Hall of Famers. That's why it worked. Certain people can be able to lead. Other people have to be cogs in the wheel. Kawhi Leonard is a cog in the wheel. But I will tell you who benefits from this. Of course, it's James Harden. James Harden is going to benefit from this. You know why? Because all James Harden cares about is James Harden. Now that there's one less person in his way to be able to dominate the basketball, and he can be able to do his thing, dribble, step back, shoot. Dribble, step back, shoot. So he does. I know what that's going to happen to the Clippers this year. I know. I told people last year what was going to happen to the Clippers. I told people the year before that was going to happen to the Clippers. I know what's going to happen to the Clippers before it happens. You know why? Because I am a Clipper prophet. I know this. They're going to have a stretch where they're going to look like one of the best teams in basketball. They're going to end up getting to the playoffs, and they're going to get their boots smoked. Because why? They don't have enough. They have no leadership, and they have no killers in the playoffs. And they have a whole bunch of basic Barrys. That's what they got on their team. Not impressed. The arena's nice. But it's going to be nice for concerts. That's what it's going to be nice for. They can hold a WrestleMania there. Yeah, do that. AEW, go to there. And if wrestling events, you have volleyball tournaments, college basketball, all of that stuff. Yeah, it's going to be great. Beyonce is going to be there. Yeah. All the rappers, it's going to be great for concerts. Trust me. Make a lot of money. But when it comes to basketball, no. It's going to feel just like how Jerry World feels in the NFL. Just like the Cowboys, this is how it's going to feel. It's going to be no home court because nobody cares about the Clippers. They just don't. No matter how much money Steve Ballmer has, it doesn't fucking matter. They will always be the Clippers. Moving on. Going to one particular load management person into another. Joel Embiid. 3 years, $193 million extension. I'll repeat that again. 3 years, $193 million. That's how much the Philadelphia 76ers gave Joel Embiid for a 3-year deal. Yet Joel Embiid has come out and the Philadelphia 76ers have come out and said that Joel Embiid is not going to play back-to-backs this season. Which means that your highest paid player, one of the highest paid players in the NBA, is not going to be available for the majority or for a portion of your season because of load management. You're paying him for what? He hasn't been a guy that's been productive in the playoffs for you. He's a regular season dynamo. We get that. But don't you pay guys to produce in the playoffs? This is why the Philadelphia 76ers, they never win. They haven't gotten to a conference finals in so long, and there's a reason for it. Because how they construct their roster and the decisions that they make are god-awful. You go ahead and give guys like Paul George money, Waldo George, what has he done but be hurt? So you got two guys, your two best players have injury problems. And instead of getting some protections on those deals, you give them 3 years, $193 million. What message are you sending to the fan base as well as other players that are, thinking about, we want to take this organization seriously, but if you're going to go ahead and commit money to this guy like this that can't give you the time and the effort that you need to be able to get over the hump, I don't want to go there. This is why the Sixers are the Sixers. For you to be able to do this and accept this level of mediocrity, that's why I keep saying, right? Desperate franchises do dumb shit. And this is exactly one of them, because Joel Embiid has shown time and time again that he's somebody that you cannot trust in the playoffs to lead you where you need to go. But yet you commit this type of money, good luck to you. Paul George, good luck to you. When you guys end up 4th or 5th in the conference, I won't be shocked. It's not like these guys are going to be able to show up in the playoffs anyway. After the break, I've seen enough from my Lakers. I've seen enough out of JJ Redick. I've seen enough. After the break. Welcome back, y'all. I've seen all I need to see out of JJ Redick. Took one game. Took one game to say, all right, I've seen enough. I remember when Darvin Ham became the coach. All I needed to see was 2 games to say, I've had enough. I saw all I needed to see. Well, it took me 1 game to figure that out for JJ Redick. And I was right. I was absolutely right. This entire time I've been telling people this guy is going to be the revolution at the coaching position we've ever seen. I'm going that far. This guy's brain is on another level. There was a play I saw where it was a double staggered screen to the wing. LeBron comes back and sets the screen. Austin Reeves takes the screen middle, passes it to Braun. Braun lobs the ball to AD. And I'm just like, I didn't see that in 4 years. Movement, creativity. This man, all he does is eat, sleep, and breathe basketball. Those are the type of maniacs you need to be able to be successful. Even after the game, he said, look, I love the win, but I'm actually going to call the league office because I don't understand how we weren't given worn-in basketballs to use in the first game of the season. Like, why did we get brand new basketballs? You ever use a brand new basketball and feel how that feels? It's a different feeling than a worn-in basketball. And everybody was kind of like, laughing in the press conference. He's like, I'm fucking serious. That's how nutty I am. You're not gonna try to give my players a disadvantage. I've been a player in this league. Like, this is the guy that I've been waiting for years. I watch practices. The practices are live. They're energetic. He's in there with the players, doing the drills, getting in there. This is like, I can't even explain as a basketball fan, as somebody who understands the game, understands what defensive and offensive concepts look like. He is literally miles ahead of a Darvin Ham, and it's not even close. I knew from 2 games in, Darvin Ham was an idiot. I said, I've had enough with Darvin Baloney. I don't want to see no more. Don't know what the hell he's doing. And it ended up being correct. All of the sources that I had throughout the year, right, is to come on the show and say, something's going on here. It's not being reported, but I see it. I'm telling you the opposite now. What I'm hearing outside of the Lakers organization is that they are so enamored with JJ Redick that there's talks. It's too early, because obviously you got to see it on a grander scale, but I can guarantee you, and quote me on this, that if they have a successful season and where they win 50-plus games and they end up passing the first round of the playoffs, they'll be surprised if an extension is on the table for JJ Redick. Just because of they've seen what they had to see. It's just like me. Rob Pelinka's like, oh, I say enough. Yep, give it to him. The intelligence, the innovativeness, the scheming, the defensive scheming, they look really good. It's only a game and a half in, but even this game right now against the Phoenix Suns, they were down 20 points. Phoenix Suns was shooting the lights out of the basketball. They shot like 67% from 3 in the first half. We are now busting their ass in the fourth quarter because this is a guy that understands adjustments, and he's making adjustments quarter to quarter, possession by possession, and it's night and day. LeBron James even said it, that attention to detail is what I've noticed the difference here. Anthony Davis looks happy. Anthony Davis looked miserable for 3 seasons. He did. Now, I don't blame him. You go from one idiot coach to the next. And now you finally got somebody that understands concepts of that. Oh, okay. We finally got somebody that knows the game. This is what it takes to be able to turn around your franchise. It takes a guy that has a confident way about him. There's a confidence. There's an arrogance. But there's also a plan, a game plan, a scheme, a concept that people can be able to relate to and understand. He's a guy that's watched the game at a level that a lot of people haven't watched it. He's been a part of basketball in regards to being a coach or an analyzer or a commentator, and he sees what the new NBA is. You're now seeing that on the court for an LA team that's been desperately needing an upgrade to their player personnel as well as their front office personnel and their coaching philosophy. It's about damn time. It's kind of like when Phil Jackson came into the team in 1999. It was like, okay, you go from this, Del Harris, you go all these people, now we got Phil. Yeah. It was a culture shock. That's what it takes. 5 titles later, we're happy. I'm not saying that he's Phil Jackson. I'm not saying that he's Pat Riley, although he looks a little bit like Pat Riley. But there's something happening here. There's a joy. There's a happiness. There's a bounce to this team step. It's only 2 games in, but they feel very, very tight-knit, and that's what I like to see. So very, very happy of what I'm seeing with JJ Redick and the Lakers. I am ecstatic, and it only took me 1 game to see it. And everybody else is seeing it too. Listen, this is what I don't want. I don't want nobody jumping on the bandwagon either. No one. I don't want nobody jumping on the bandwagon. Oh, yeah, the Lakers look good. No, I don't want to hear that. Keep the energy, right? Root for the Clippers. Root for the... Don't root for us, okay? Let us go ahead and fly out on the radar. Oh, Braun's old. Yeah, do that. We're going to be fine over here. 53 wins is what I'm predicting this season. 53 wins. Book it. Moving on. Somebody's getting a new shoe. There's a shoe deal out there. Nike, not the situation. That's not who's getting a new, they got a player with a new deal. It's not Adidas. No. It's Reebok. Who is the CEO or the runner of Reebok? It's Shaq. It's Allen Iverson, right? They have a signature athlete now. Shouts to them. Do you know who that is, Allen Iverson?
No.
It's Angel Reese. Angel Reese is now signed to Reebok, and she's going to have a signature shoe. Shouts to her. Right? You think I'm going to have something bad to say? I'm not going to have anything bad to say. I'm not. I think it's very, very good to have her be, an ambassador for the brand, being able to be a role model for young girls and all that stuff and push the game forward if she can try to do that. So shouts to her. No, I'm not. I'm not going to move on. I just thought about something. She has her, all right, so she's going to have her new signature shoe, right? I do have a name that she can be able to use for the shoe. You ready? Mm-hmm. The Bricklayers. Bricklayer ones. That's what they're going to be called because she still can't make a layup. I don't give a damn what she got. She can have a shoe. She can have a commercial. She can have a cartoon. She can have all of this. She can have a fidget toy. Whatever she wants, right? Bricklayer ones. That's what it's going to be. She better... the commercial or what's going to be on the boxes of her with a hard hat. Yeah. Get out of the hell out of here. Where's Angel Reese? Where's Caitlin Clark's shoe? And Ionescu. I like an Ionescu shoe. She's a champion. Give me her shoe. Nobody care about no Angel Reese shoe. Bricklayer ones. Nobody cares. Until you can be able to make a layup and win some games in the WNBA, nobody cares. That's all I'm saying. I tried to be nice. I couldn't do it. A minute was all I had. That was all I had. Moving on. We weren't going to talk about this. We weren't going to talk about it. But there has to be a little Mets therapy session because the Yankees just lost. Freddie Freeman hits a grand slam, bases loaded, 2 outs. Aaron Boone. You put in Nestor Cortez. The man hasn't pitched in like 8 months. You literally burned through your damn bullpen. You put him in? Freddie Freeman takes some deep. What kind of decision is that? At least, Mendoza was a rookie manager. This man's been a manager for how long? What kind of stupid ass moves you making? Every Yankee fan on the planet right now is upset. And I'm curious to hear what the postseason conversation is going to be. Why'd you make this decision? If the Yankees lose to the Dodgers, I'm gonna be sick. I am. They spent all this damn money in the offseason. Shohei is Mr. Baseball. I don't like it. I don't like it. And all we had to do was just keep the team together. Don't make no changes. Don't add no damn McNeil to the roster. That's when everything went downhill. We was fine before that. Beat the hell out of the Brewers and the Phillies. We didn't have McNeil then. So why would you add him? That don't make sense. It's not like Lindor's coming back. He's not a Lindor. Mm-hmm. He's not Pete. Mm-hmm. He's not Vientos. Mm-hmm. I don't understand it.
Yeah, I don't get it. Like they were fine with the offense. Was fine. Like,
fine.
Even McNeil, he's not like a game changer.
No.
On that end, and then they also replaced him for a bullpen arm.
Right.
That would have been very beneficial.
You sacrifice a bullpen arm that we desperately needed for McNeil. Mm-hmm. What ended up happening in Game 6? Silent Assassin. Bases loaded. He strikes out in a game that we should have won. I'm done. Send him to China. I want him off this team immediately. Him and Matan or Matin or whatever the hell his name is. Both of them can go. Matan can catch a baton. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. There was no reason to put him on the team. Same thing with Nestor Cortez. Y'all got to the World Series without him. You don't need him. Why would you burn Weaver that early?
I know. Also, too, out of all the bullpen pitchers that came in that game, he pitched to the most batters as well.
Right.
I don't get why that decision was
Man hasn't pitched in months, and you give him the most work?
I don't get it.
Wouldn't it be better to pitch him in one of the middle innings? Mm-hmm. Just to kind of get him in rhythm?
Or even like a blown out game just to get him,
If you're up 9-0, yeah, put him in the game. Mm-hmm. Get him some work. Mm-hmm. But you put him in a pressure situation in the World Series?
Mm-hmm. Don't make sense.
And that's what we got to watch. We got a mess here.
I don't know. I was so excited to come down here and maybe have the TV on. I don't know.
Right.
Maybe tilted toward me, you can't watch. But just to have some good vibes of, World Series baseball.
At least make the mistakes against us. Right? Go ahead and pitch Nestor Cortez against Pete Alonso and Vientos. We did the same shit.
Yeah.
Just I can't watch this. I'm not gonna watch. My predictions for what I see right now, Dodgers in 5. If that's how he's gonna manage. Come on now. Freddie Freeman hit a grand slam, limping around a day in base pads. He looks like Kirk Gibson in '88. That's what he looks like. As a Mets fan, I'm just sick to my stomach. I am. Now it's time for the greatest segment on the planet, W of the Week.
Dummy, yeah.
Every week I go around the room and I ask, who is the dummy of the week? There's no Claw, there's no Jimmy, but there is a silent assassin. What do you got?
I don't know if you saw the video of the new national anthem viral moment.
No, I did not.
So I didn't know who this artist was, and a lot of people didn't know who she was. Called Loomis, and she sang the national anthem at a third-party presidential debate. I didn't even know they had these, but I guess it's...
Oh yeah, that's for Jill Stein.
Okay.
The Green Party, that idiot.
Yeah, so she sang the national anthem. Voice was good, and then all of a sudden, the high note comes up.
Oh, goodness.
She misses it, and she goes, I fucked it up. Can we do it again? And the guy off camera's like, we're live. She proceeds to sing, and another, moment comes. She's like, I'm so nervous. And then proceeds to sing.
What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly be streaming. And the rockets, red glare. I fucked it up. Can I go back, please? Bombs bursting, and then I got too nervous. Gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Whoa, say does that star spangled away for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And everyone's like, what is going on right now?
You know what's crazy about that? She ain't got to worry about nothing because ain't nobody watched it. Nobody watched it. Nobody cares. Perfect for Jill Stein to have a disaster because she's a disaster. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's just so.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Messed up. Can we start over again? We're live. Really?
Yeah, and then her face too, like her eyes kind of wide. I'm like, no one, told her that it was like live, and even too, like, you gotta know it's a presidential debate.
Yeah.
Live. So everyone's saying, I didn't know who she was, and we're not gonna know. You never get this, like her moment. That's it.
Had to be on drugs. She probably didn't know where she was. She probably thought she was at rehearsal. Can we do it again, please?
Yeah.
It was a little too loud.
Yeah. It was so
live.
So funny. Even the guy after, he's like, we're live.
Dummy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. That is a very, very good one. That's a good one. I like that one. Did we win the game? Oh snap! We only up 7 now. Come on, Lakers. Hang on now. Hang on. I do have one. I do. I think I discussed it a little bit before. I'm gonna further go into it because I think it's necessary to discuss. May I have the drum roll, please? And the winner for Dummy of the Week, Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones is my
dummy. Yeah.
Now, I talked about him in detail, but I need more. I need more because as a Cowboys fan, we have this optimism every season that we're going to put it together. We're going to put it together. We're going to put it together. But Jerry Jones keeps telling us no, he won't. He keeps showing us that he won't. And we keep having this confidence and this belief that things are going to turn around, and it won't. And Jerry Jones himself constantly goes on these interviews and these podcasts and all of this stuff, and he keeps telling us that he will never, ever, ever do what you want him to do, but he still wants you to pay your good hard-earned money to go support those Cowboys. And for me, it makes me feel like the dummy, but here's the problem. Jerry Jones is the dummy.
Dummy. Yeah.
Because if you think that this is going to help your legacy, if you think that the jig is not up where people are going to start realizing that you are a charlatan and you're a gaslighter, your franchise will start to bottom out very, very soon. There is a rumbling in this organization, in this fan base, and they're ready to tune you out, turn it off. So continue to be this narcissistic, egotistical person that doesn't care about changing. You want to be the GM? You might as well coach the fucking team too. Since you think you know so much about football, you should go ahead and coach the football team. Don't step on Mike McCarthy's toes. Don't do this. Don't talk shit about him in the media because you've already emasculated the man. You coach the team. You go ahead and answer the questions, because if you think that you know more football than most of the great players and great coaches that have come before, like a Jimmy Johnson, like a Bill Parcells, Bill Belichick, all of these people, you coach the fucking team. You go ahead and get Dak Prescott to do what you want to do. But until then, Cowboy fans are going to look at you as the problem. You are the problem in Dallas. It took me quite some time to figure it out, but you're the problem. And removing you will start the healing process of this franchise. You've done a lot for this franchise. You have. Very innovative in regards to the sponsorship. You're a legacy owner, but your time is up. You need to pass the buck. And don't pass the buck to your idiot son. Pass it to somebody who actually cares about building a football team the right way. You see what's going on in Washington? Magic Johnson decided to say, I'm going to own this team because I have a passion to turn this thing around. Look where the Commanders are now. They're actually a better run organization than you, and it only took 2 years. So who's the dummy here? Is it the fans that want to see a team finally get to where they want them to be, the Super Bowl, win a Super Bowl? No, I will never call the fans idiots. They're always going to be the optimistic ones that wake up every Sunday and think that their team is going to get a win. They're going to go ahead and buy apparel for their children and grow their kids up to be Cowboys fans. But you are the constant. You are the thing that's stopping these fans to having that joy that they actually deserve. The Dallas Cowboy fans are one of the most passionate fan bases in all of sports. But you are the constant that's holding this team back. Anybody that fires Jimmy Johnson because of an ego thing, you're a fucking problem. Anybody who thinks that not, deep diving into free agency and actually helping this team win is the fucking problem. Anybody that doesn't want to hire a head coach that is going to supersede them and be more popular than them and have the command of the team that they should have, and you go ahead and hire some sycophant and some guy who's going to be a lackey behind you, you're the fucking problem. So keep on. There's going to come a time where this fan base revolts against you. And every time there's a home game, you're going to have boos rain down on the Dallas Cowboys. Not because of the team, not because of how Dak Prescott is playing, not because of how CeeDee Lamb is not catching touchdown passes, not because of Micah Parsons not getting sacks. It's because of you. You being the old constant fuck and the old constant negative that's on this team. You're the black cloud of the Dallas Cowboys. It's not the players. I finally figured it out. So until you change, this franchise will continue to suffer. So I will never call the Dallas Cowboy fans dummies. You, sir, you're the dummy. Oh, yeah, there we go.
Dummy, yeah.
That's all for the show. That's it. I do have a PSA, obviously. Like always. At some point, we have to start looking at our society and saying, what has happened? When has decency and shame not been a thing anymore? I remember when people used to have shame. Damn, I really don't want to do that because I don't want to embarrass my family. I don't want to embarrass the people that I love. I don't want to embarrass my job. Then you have people go on TikTok and they'll cover themselves in fucking Jello just for likes and clicks. They'll go ahead and embarrass themselves and have X posts that embarrass their families and put their jobs at risk just for likes and clicks. We have devolved as a society. You would think that technology would make us smarter. It would make things a lot easier to handle. We've actually gotten stupider. We are actually, I believe, we might be the dumbest country in the world collectively. And our politics show that. We have one candidate that is talking about unity, change, is a collection of Republicans, Democrats, independents. It's going to be something that we want to go ahead and bridge the gap of division in this country, right? And then you have the other person that talks about windmills giving you cancer. But yet the media will tell you that they're the same. That Kamala Harris has to work twice as hard and get twice the level of criticism that the convicted felon and rapist and crook and thief and grifter and old man gets. So he can say whatever he wants, but you'll worry about Kamala Harris or what she says at a town hall meeting. That's where that's where our politics have gone now, where the world looks at us and they laugh. So when Donald Trump says that America is a garbage can, he's right. And guess who's holding the garbage can? He is. So is Fox News. So is all the other legacy media outlets out there. That sane wash an insane man. If Biden was too old to run, Trump is going to be older than Joe Biden if he becomes president after his 4 years. Make it make sense to me. So if Joe was too old to run 4 years ago and he's too old to keep running, why does he not get the same respect? Why don't we hear cognitive decline stories like how we heard about Joe Biden in a 3-week span that forced him out of the election? Make it make sense to me. So you have one particular place that will sane wash and protect him, but we have our other legacy media outlets that don't do that to their own candidate. So you're not playing by the same rules, but you expect her to play by some different rules. It's bullshit. So I see what's going on here, that you guys don't give a fuck if she wins or not. You guys don't care if she wins. You guys probably would rather Donald Trump win, because it'll make you more money, especially CNN. I know y'all. We have gotten to a point where we have devolved as a society, not only in our society in regards to our culture, our communication skills, but also our media that we used to trust, to be honest, and to give us the facts. We now have to go to YouTube outlets that are actually more honest and decent now. Shame on y'all. We are under 13 days to this election, and you guys have done a poor job telling the story of what should have been told. The clean prosecutor against the fucking felon. So whatever happens at this point, I blame y'all. That's my PSA for this week. So we'll see what happens. We are very, very close, and hopefully we can get the result. We got one more pod until game day. So till next week, stay safe, stay cool. Peace. Goddamn Mets. All they had to do was just hit. Get McNeil out of here. Get McNeil out of here. That's all I care about. Why did you have to change things, right? All you had to do was just leave his ass out. If you wanted to have him as a cheerleader, have him as a cheerleader. That's all. Don't put him in the damn game. You see what else? Not damn Dallas is gonna win the World Series.
My son is the champ, so get over it.